Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with IRS. I have been doing this line of work for 50 years. I worked for IRS for 10. I don't wear any fancy coat or ties or need a background. I just shoot these videos at my home with all my snacks that I get to eat. I am a national figure in resolution. Like I said, I don't get all gussied up. I've been on all the major news stations, so you can see me at 777irs.com. And you can learn about my team of former IRS agents and the expertises, in fact, that I have. I'm going to move you away so you don't see my snacks. You may come over here and want to take them. Anyway, I want to talk to you about if you're getting audited by IRS and you don't have your records, what would a tax reconstruction look like? So recently I had somebody call me. They wanted to use us, and unfortunately it was a deeper audit. Their IRS was asking a lot, and the person did not have a lot of money, so I told them what to do. So I figured I'd make a YouTube on this. This was a person who had a job, and he had a full-time job, had a part-time job actually catering. That person made about $30,000 to $50,000 a year, and they were being audited by the state of Illinois, and the person had no records. So they asked me, well, could you give us advice on what the auditor may be looking at, since we have no records and we have to reconstruct those records? So the best example that I can give you is actually to tell you what to do in that situation in case you can't afford anybody. What you would have to do is, I said to get your calendar book for the years that the state wanted. I think the state wanted 5 years on them. So I said, get your events that you had and go get your checks or your credit cards and show the purchases you made right before that time. Some of the problems you may have is IRS may say, well, you use them for personal use or you use them for business use. We really don't know. However, if you can show the period of time when let's say they had an event on March 15th, and they usually did their shopping for that event to get their cost of goods or their food. He was a caterer and spent them within a couple days. You can kind of show those were the expenses you used. He had to go to Walmart and another store. So those expenses would have been used really for that. You can see patterns of that. So when you do a reconstruction, the reconstruction is best to start out with a calendar book to show what you did. I'll give you one other example. Let's say you were a painter, and being a painter of houses, you had 10 jobs, 20 jobs a year. Well, every time you had a job, you probably went to a vendor, and that vendor probably, in this case, bought paint and brushes. Well, if they can't give you the bills, you can at least reconstruct some of your expenses. IRS will accept reconstruction expenses, but you got to be able to put them together to show a pattern or show proof. Reconstructions are best done by, I hate to tell you, but former IRS agents, because we know the system, we know what IRS is going to look for, we know the patterns, and we know how to put those patterns together. But if you want to do this yourself, I gave you a really good idea, and I wish you the best of luck. We're available for consultations, representations. Give me a subscription if you would. I'd really appreciate it. Remember, reconstructions, do your best to put it together. If IRS doesn't like, or the state doesn't like, in this case, what you said, always go to appeals. One more thing you have to know. Usually when you have a state tax audit, guess what happens? The state tells the IRS, and now you have another audit. Anyway, like I said, give me a like, give me a comment, give me a subscription. Thank you very much for listening, and good luck.